you decide to get behind the wheel because you're doing whatever and then end up killing somebody. That's not going to happen.
Defender Natalie, Mr. Stringa, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Leo Stringer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the date and time for, well, 2 cases are set for sentencing and 2 cases are set for violation of probation. I have had the opportunity to review the alleged violations and the recommendations as to the violations of probation with Mr. Stringa. I guess I will start with those first, Your Honor, if Your Honor does not mind.
Go ahead.
We do acknowledge that there are the new criminal convictions and new pending criminal matters. And we do acknowledge that no proof of these things have been sent to probation. Mr. Stringa did indicate to me that he was going to try to get proof of Dawn Farm outpatient treatment. However, unfortunately, I have not received that yet to provide to probation or to the court. We are asking, as far as these cases go, if the court would consider not remanding Mr. Stringa. We do acknowledge that, yes, there are several violations alleged, and there's no getting around that. I'm just asking that the court, if you would consider not imposing the jail time. He does have some significant medical concerns he has been dealing with, and we are just asking if the court would consider not imposing the jail. And we do, as far as this 2 cases set for sentencing, Your Honor, I do not have any material changes to the PSI. As to the recommendation, my request would be similar. I would ask if the court would consider not imposing the jail time.
Stringer, anything you want to, Ms. Clara?
Yeah, sure, Honor. Teresa Clara on behalf of probation. Your Honor, I would just like to make the court aware. It already knows. Mr. Stringa has been on probation for over the last year on the 2 DOP cases. In those cases, he's done nothing. He's not paid 1 cent on either case or that is owed. That is high amounts on both cases. The only thing that Mr. Stringa has done is picked up new criminal cases. He has convictions. He also has pending matters. I had conversations with Mr. Stringa about getting into treatment. Conversations go that he agrees. He's supposed to be getting into verification. He's doing these things. Probation never receives anything from Mr. Stringa. So those just go on, and he stays in non-compliance. Given his past behavior and his continued criminal behavior, probation is asking that the court follow the recommendation for a jail sentence.
Mr. Stringer, anything you want to say?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as my current situation, I've been in and out of the hospital like 32 times. University of Michigan Hospital has cited. I've supplied the court with multiple, documentations of my current medical situation. My knee's bleeding through my pants right now. I have osteomyelitis. My bone's infected in my leg. I didn't.
In that regard, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but
yeah.
in that regard, part of you haven't done any testing. You haven't done anything. Part of your reasoning behind that is basically saying you can't go out in public.
Right, Your Honor.
Well, we have your tracking, and you've been out in public. What were you doing at Briarwood yesterday?
I was trying to apply for a job online that I'm trying to do online. I had to go there and give them some paperwork.
Then why couldn't you go to community corrections?
I could, Your Honor. I don't have any money to pay for it. But I am so.
What you want to say?
But I do have a PhD from Michigan, and I am a professor. I was on FMLA from Eastern, but I'm slated to go back. Hopefully, I can do this in January 9th, so I'll be able to create an income. I have been sober. I tried to go to inpatient treatment. They wouldn't let me because of my skin condition, just to show the court that I was doing something. And I did send some paperwork with that. I don't know if you didn't get it, but
No.
okay. Judge Barr's court got it, but yeah, I made a lot of bad choices earlier in my life. I mean, not earlier in my life, earlier with these cases, but I'm on the other side of it as far as me as a person and me continuing to try to do better. I made a mess of the cases, and I didn't know that I was still actually on probation in this case. And it wasn't even really brought to my attention that I wasn't in compliance until I spoke with Ms. Polera maybe 2 months ago. So I thought I might have had time served on this, but it was another case that it was time served on. But I would just like to for you to give me a chance that I can do probation, and that I can get through this and make myself a better person. I have so much going on medically right now too. I might, it's a lot. I don't want to get into it, but I'm at your mercy, Your Honor. I didn't, and this too, it's like, I didn't work so hard my whole life and, get a PhD and do all these things in life to throw it all away. And I want the opportunity to try to do this. And if you give me this chance, I won't prove you wrong.
You were sentenced originally in July 24th of 2024. And now here we are a year plus, almost a year and a half later, and you've done nothing except, as Ms. Blair indicates, just pick up new criminal charges. I'm done.
I thought I was time served. I thought the case was over with, Your Honor. I really did. Until I spoke with Ms. Polera 2 months ago, I didn't even know the case was still active. I made a mess, and I had like 4 or 5 retail frauds in Washtenaw County through different 14A, 14B, and 15th. I didn't know which one was which. And when I thought I had time served, I thought it was closed out because nobody told me anything different. And actually, I went to jail, was booked, and let go multiple times, and I never even had a warrant on this case. So I didn't even know that I wasn't in compliance. I didn't even know it existed.
You done?
Yes, sir.
So on the cases ending in 0962 and in 1452, since they have the same recommendation, I'll just do it once. On those, the probation cases, I'm going to revoke your probation. I'm going to sentence you to 365 days in jail, credit 82 days served, defendant to serve the balance. I will waive the remaining terms, accept the financial obligations, discharge you from probation without improvement. I will consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient treatment on those cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On the other matters, on the case ending in 0616, $125 statutory fee, 365 days in jail, credit 41 served, defendant to serve the balance. I'll consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient treatment. And on the last case ending in 1677, I'll order $125 statutory fee. I will apply the bond in that case. I'll order 365 days in jail, credit 2 days on that case, defendant to serve the balance. I'll consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient.
Your Honor,
It is remanded.
Your Honor, may I say one thing? Just as far as the inpatient treatment, I have a misdemeanor warrant in another county, which I don't think they'll let me do. Is there any way I could do the Dawn Farms in jail program to get released that way? Is that feasible? Just because I know that you gave me bond conditions before to be released to treatment, and they wouldn't let me go because they said I had a misdemeanor warrant in another county. So I
consider that another time, but I pronounce my sentence. Defendant remanded.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. My coat.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Adkins. Mr. Adkins, state your name for the record, please.
Michael Adkins.
Your Honor, regarding the pretrial, I suppose I asked for an adjournment. We're still in negotiations, and then there's a bond issue we should address as well.
Yeah.
So Mr. Adkins had some missed tests and a positive test for alcohol. Regarding the missed tests, we have been in touch with the place that he's been testing at in Flint, it seems like there's a little bit of delay in getting those results here. For example, that there was a test on the 31st that when we were here on the 5th was said it was missed. He did test on the 31st. That result is now on that report that was sent by community corrections. So we're trying to work
Which
out.
is the alcohol.
Yes. So we're trying to work out the kinks on the delay on getting the test to community corrections. So that's the first piece. The second piece is the positive alcohol test. I've had multiple conversations with Mr. Adkins regarding the positive alcohol. I think today he would like to admit to the violation with a bit of an explanation. He is, I think Mr. Adkins' road to sobriety is a pretty long and interesting one. He was addicted to opiates. As of last year, he relapsed, but before that, he was clean for about 3 years. He was completed inpatient treatment. He was working as a counselor at a sober living house here in Ann Arbor. He was a sponsor. He had worked through the steps multiple times. So he's very familiar with substance abuse addiction and the struggles and journey that can take a person on. He obviously admits that they relapsed last year. Again, he struggles with opiates, and he's been clean from opiates now for over a year. Is getting back into that sobriety journey. He is going to AA weekly, and has moved from Ann Arbor, where his primary, problem was, to Flint, so he can. He's living with his brother, who's also 9 or 8 years sober, and re-enter that sober living lifestyle. So Mr. Adkins again admits to the violation. At the last court date, the court ordered him to come here to test in person. He did. The court ordered also for him to come in person today. He explained to me that his mom drove from Saginaw to Flint to pick him up and drop him off here. He's not trying to run from anything. He wants to take accountability for his actions. And I think he's doing that by admitting and trying to work through all of this. So I don't know if you want to say anything in addition to that, Mr. Adkins.
Your Honor, I take full responsibility of the positive alcohol test. I go to NA and AA meetings weekly in Flint. And I just want to not lose my job from incarceration so I can continue to, pay for what I need to pay for and so on and so forth.
He's willing to step up.
But has he taken the test? I mean, I got missed test and unable.
So
I don't have him testing.
There was an unable, I can't remember the dates off the top of my head.
November 12th.
Last week, he said he did go in the 13th and test to make up for that 12th. He did show me a PDF of those results, which were negative. It says on them that the sample was taken the 13th and it was received by the testing facility. The results were received by the testing facility on the 17th. And so he did test on that date. He did test on the 17th.
You're saying he did?
He did. I think here in community, maybe the difference is here, the results are done immediately at community corrections, from my understanding. It seems like at this testing location in Flint, they are sending the tests out. And that's how we get the sample taken on the 13th and the result coming in on the 17th. And that's delaying those results getting to community corrections, which is delaying the results getting to us. So I think that's part of the issue of the delayed or the missed tests that are reflected on our reports. But then, like I said, there was one that said he was missed on the 31st, and now we'd have a result for that test. So it shows that he did test, although it is a positive test.
Shelters.
Your Honor, based on the report, I trust defense counsel representations, of course, but based on the report that's before me that I'm looking at, in 1 month, we've had one compliant test, which was November the 7th, which was a test that the defendant had 2 days of notice for. The court recalls on November the 5th when we were here, the court ordered him to test by Friday. So he had 2 days to go to that test. I believe the science and what we're seeing here is pattern of alcohol use and refusals or missed tests. If the court recalls at the time of arraignment, I let the court know that this was an OWI second offense. The prior is from 2019, which is not that long ago. And the defendant was found passed out behind the wheel of his vehicle, had to have 2 doses of Narcan to even come around at all, and was discovered to have 47 nanograms of cocaine in his blood. I'm extremely concerned for public safety. I think it's great that he's moved in with his brother, but clearly that's not working because he's been residing there since the pendency of this case, if I recall correctly. And we're having these tests that are showing ETG. We had 1 for THC, and we're seeing non-compliance. The concern of the people at this time is public safety. And I'd ask the court at this moment, remand him for the bond violation. If the court is inclined to release them, I would request a scram tether, as well as the continued intensive supervision for drugs. That's also an issue here.
Anything else?
Anything else from you?
No, ma'am.
So here's part of the problem as I'm seeing it. And yes, I'm concerned about public safety, but I'm also concerned about this defendant. The thing is, you know what it takes to get yourself sober. And I'll just put it in a colloquial sense that what you're doing right now is you're just half step. And you know that. You know that you are not doing what it takes to get yourself there. And that's why things are coming out and working this way for you. You got to make up your mind, young man. If you want to do it, you know how to do it. You've done it. You just have to do it. This half process for you is not going to work. And you got to figure that out. But if you think that what I'm going to do while you're in the process of trying to figure that out is allow you to be out there, be in a position where you decide to get behind the wheel because you're doing whatever and then end up killing somebody, that's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn this to December 3rd, 2025, 9 a.m. He figure out in that time what he wants to do, but at this time, his bond is revoked, defendant remanded.